Hey, 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 hey. How's
Hey,
everybody
Coach.
out there? Hey, Coach Cotton. How you doing?
I am doing lovely. Wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Just ready for what's about to happen on the Coach's Corner tonight. About to start tagging and telling some people that we are on. So I'm super excited, Coach.
Yes, yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Coach's Corner with myself, Coach Cotton. Look, I said myself, Coach Cotton. So I'm Coach Cotton. I am Coach Cotton. And she is Coach Adasa. No, I'm just kidding. So with
That is
myself,
hilarious.
Johnson, and we have the wonderful, amazing Coach Cotton Gloves. That's a new name, Coach Cotton Gloves.
There
We
y'all
keep
go.
right. We keep
There y'all go
we
with
keep
that.
renaming Coach. So
Look, I don't even remember what was my original name. Look, it don't been changed. He changed my name so many times.
right, like I don't even know. I don't even know what your name was before Coach. Before the Coach's Corner. Like I don't even
Because
know.
because y'all came and changed it. That's why.
I came in. I was like, "You Coach Cotton."
Facts. And it was just that natural. It was just that natural.
Yeah, it
I
was
was like,
really
well, I guess Florida got to go with it because it was so natural.
yes, yes. And then here come Adrian with the Coach Cotton gloves. I was like, perfect.
And you saw, that day I was like, why, Adrian? Why?
I
It don't
know.
need no more additions, no more help to it. Just why?
Yes, yes. Hey, Ebony, we had Ebony in the building
Hey,
today.
Ebony.
Yes. And we have oh shoot, we have some of our viewers on Facebook. And listen, while Coach Cotton Gloves is tagging a friend, telling a friend, letting everybody know that we are on.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody saw, but if you just saw, my glasses fall off my face because my little thing
I
right here
cannot.
came off. But look, Coach was just talking about me with this, right? And
I was.
it's a perfect, intro or leeway into our topic anyway, right? Which
Facts.
sis, take off the cape
All day.
all day, like take off the cape. Um, and what does that have to do with my glasses? Because I'm telling you, before, while we were sitting here, we were backstage. I was telling Coach Cotton about some stuff, and I said, "Girl, I gotta find my sewing kit because I have to sew my hair back together." And she's like, "You got to do what?" I got to
What?
sew my hair. I'm like, "You see this piece right here? I take it and then I wrap it around and wrench it around and do it like that when it get thin, and then so I have to sew it, and then." After I sew it, I had to do my glasses because my glasses,
So
it was
much.
just, and then it came apart. So now I have to put that back together till my other ones come in. And then I got to go in there and then I got to cook the so and so because this way. And then, I got to check my trades because, and Coach Cotton was like,
It's a
tired.
lot.
She said, I'm tired just here listening to you right now.
It's y'all. It was just so much. I was going just to,
Right.
if I had to shadow you during the day, I'm asleep. I'm going to bed, yo. At the end, I'm done because I'm exhausted. I was just
Um,
like, I thank God you don't have like a dog or nothing like that because they wouldn't get fed or nothing because it's so
Oh,
much.
when I had a dog, guess who was doing the dog? Guess who was feeding the dog? Guess who was walking the dog? Guess. Take a wild guess. Take a guess.
You, it
Yeah.
had to be you,
Although
girl.
everybody else wanted the dog, but the responsibility of the dog fell on me.
Fell on you. See, because you was out there weighing out the capes. You was the caregiver for your family, the mom, the dad, the dog sitter, the cat sitter, the sewer, the hairstylist, the grocery shopper, the taxi cab, the Uber. Then you was the
Tax, the
cook,
tax,
the
the no,
chef,
the tax specialist.
the tax specialist, the
Out,
masseuse, the doctor, the therapist, the
right, the
coach.
therapist, the
I
healer.
don't I don't ran out of the hands. I don't run out of fingers. So
I'm telling
look,
you.
it's take the cape off. Like, this is a thing, y'all. Like, tonight, y'all go ahead and tag a friend, tell a friend, let them know that we're on, because this is a deep subject for women, and men get on too, because you guys need to hear this. You need to hear this because it will give you a better understanding of what women literally go through, especially those women who love their families, who desire to cater and to make sure that their support shows up to be present for their families. But then at the end of the day, look, we need some help. Help. Look, it's an SOS right now,
SOS.
right?
SOS.
Like we crying out, like we putting out a call, like, can't do this no more. My body's being run down. I'm getting sick, getting tired, feeling like my soul is depleted, my spirit is depleted. And you don't want the woman in your life, whether that's mom, whether that's sister, auntie, grandma, whoever she is, godparent, godmother, to feel like, she's done so much and is doing so much to the point to where now she has exhausted all of her energy and efforts for everybody else, and there's nothing for herself. And so we got the perfect example tonight, y'all. Look, we're going to use Coach Hadassah, because if anybody can tell about this story, oh, y'all get ready, because she can tell y'all about this, taking the cape off, folding it down, taking it in the drawer. And I mean, just her whole life experience. The Lord has really taken her through some things on purpose so that she can share with us today. Like, this is not, we making light of it, but at the end of the day, it's nothing funny about it. And Coach Hadassah is going to really walk us through her experience and what she has been going through and what she had to go through to get to this point, to say to all women and to speak to some men and saying, hey, support your wife and your loved ones and the women in your life, because this could be something so serious and we just expect it. So she's going to help us. So, Coach, look, like, how I tell you every day, I talk to you all the time, like, I'm a woman and I don't even have a percentage of what you have going on. And I don't even know how to manage a little bit that I have going on. Like, I got a dog. I'm single with a dog. I can manage my apartment and things like that. But, really, that's the extent. I got career and I got, other skills and side gigs and things like that. But I can manage it alone. But sometimes I struggle in that. And when I think about your lifestyle and, to be a mom and to be a wife and then to be a friend and to be your, like I said, doctor, caregiver to sister, you got a child with a disability, and then you got younger children, and then, you got just other people pulling on you, and then you're teaching. You're not only a homeschool mom, then you teach other people, and what I'm saying, you're learning yourself, and then again, you're a masseuse, you're a coach. It's just kind of like I get overwhelmed. We joking about the glasses, but you got
like okay, real quick. I have to correct this. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to correct it though.
Correct me, please.
But I have to say this. But this is for everybody. Never call a massage therapist a masseuse. There's a difference between the two.
Please correct me. What is the official title?
A massage therapist.
Massage therapist.
Yes.
Now, what's the difference?
The difference is a massage therapist gives you just that. They, it's a healing modality, right? Mm-hmm. That is, it helps with, alleviates, pain, relaxation, all of that. A masseuse gives you a happy ending.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like those massage parlors, massage parlors, those where your masseuse are.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A
massage therapist, that's who's, in your spas, and and even because you have massage therapists that works alongside of, because like I'm a licensed clinical massage therapist, so I can work alongside of chiropractors in hospitals and things like that, because I would work, massage therapists or clinical licensed massage therapists, we would work alongside of doctors, physical therapists, things like that, to help the patient or the client who, you know, they may have had a car accident, or
Right.
I mean, you know, physical therapy, you know, even again, you know, chiropractor, because the muscles can be so tight and pull the bones out of alignment.
Oh wow.
Right. And so where you go into your chiropractor visits and everything, your bones may shift out of alignment, but it's more so because of the stress that your muscles are holding. And so your clinical massage therapist would, you know, use those clinical manipulations in order to help
Mm.
to relax the muscle, so that when your chiropractor is doing their adjustments, the muscles don't shift the bones back out of alignment or out of place.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you
And
for
so,
that correction because I
yeah. And then your masseuse,
not doing
now
that what a
they
masseuse
might
is doing.
massage something else.
I can't
But
coach.
you know, just saying. And so I just wanted to let everybody be aware,
I
because I'm
just can't.
just like, every time when I be, you know, you're a masseuse, I'd be like,
I'm not a masseuse. I don't
um,
give happy endings. Now, I want you to be happy when I'm done, but I want you to
right.
be
I want you
healed.
to be happy, but not with that kind of ending. Like we're
Not
not doing that.
right.
We're not doing that in this session.
And I definitely don't coach because you can't be out there like that. So
Yeah, you no,
y'all here again
not there like
on
that.
topic. The reason that she knows all of this detailed information is because she wears all of these hats. She is a master of many trades and skills. Because look, I'm just like up here, massage therapist, ain't they the same? No, they are not,
No,
sweetheart.
they're not.
And it takes
No, they're
coach to
not.
come and correct us, say, please stop calling massage therapist masseuse because we're not the same thing.
We're
And
not the same.
and this is
Look,
why we
look,
have
we
this
are
topic
not
today,
the
because
same.
who knows this information? Who has this besides coach? Who gonna really break it down besides coach? Like
I know.
only coach or doctor's gonna come and say, oh no, I have to correct you. And y'all know she do it so graceful. I gotta pause you because I gotta correct you on something. Only Coach Dawson is gonna come.
And it's you know, and look, and it's out of love, like it really is. You know, there's no
All love.
malice or anything like that. It's out of love. It's just
Period.
really, you know, I just
A
want everybody to be
correction.
well informed. You know,
Facts.
that's all. I just want you to be well informed. I don't want people
Straight
out here,
facts.
you know, like that. That's the teacher part. That's there as well. So
Teacher. I told y'all she teaching everybody. I'm telling y'all, she teach me and save me and deliver me on a regular. Like at some point, you know, I might need to get on the good foot, but it
well,
ain't
let me
happened
put on my
quite
other
yet.
glasses since these broke.
Since those are falling off, coach. Lord help us, Jesus. But okay, so you guys hear the topic. Look, I was tagging people, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not tagging most of the people at the same time. Look, y'all know I be tagging so much, I forget if I tagged them already. So sorry. If you get 2 tags, I'm sorry. Be trying to talk and do everything. But anyway, so this is what we're talking about tonight, right? We're talking about all the many hats that women wear, the different jobs, the different responsibilities that they have. And again, we got the best person here to share with us. And so you guys go ahead, grab pen and paper, because ladies and men, you want to take some notes, because sometimes as men, we don't even understand what the woman is going through. I mean, you know, and I say we because, you know, I got brothers, dads, things like that. And I just know that they're not dialed in, but they're not technically supposed to be. But then there's a level of compassion and understanding that has to come with the maturity of the growth of the man. And so with that being said, coach, I'm gonna start off with this. I got this one question that's gonna lead you, and then you can flow how you want to flow. And I know a lot of women on here is probably wondering, how do I take the cape off? Because if I take the cape off, like you're recommending, then my family, everything around me is going to suffer and decline. And I don't want chaos, pandemonium, a conundrum, or disastrous craziness going on in my home. So
Right.
how do I do that and keep a balance? And so you can take it from however you want to take it, from how you got to this place and then your action steps to get out of that place. But we women need to know, how do you do that and still maintain a balance in all areas of your life? Because if they are the chef, they are the mom, they are the teacher, they are the wife, they are the daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got parents. How do you do that? How can you do that and feel okay, knowing that something may lack, something may suffer, and it's because of your decision? So go
Mhm.
ahead, coach. Go ahead and jump into it. Y'all pen and paper out. Let's get it. Let's get into it.
Yes. So before I really go into, how, like, what do you do? How do you stop? Right? I want you to be aware, men and women, of the many hats that women wear, right? The many hats that women wear, especially nowadays. Things aren't like it used to be back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I'm talking about, a time that we weren't even here.
Mm-hmm.
The 50s and prior to, where back in those days, um a woman wasn't even allowed to have her own bank account. Really, there weren't a lot of jobs for women outside of the home, and the ones that were, it was more so like in the nurturing fields. A woman could be a teacher, a woman could be a nurse, a seamstress or a clerk or secretary, something like that. And those jobs weren't paying a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Women, like, you had a job, but they weren't paying women enough to be able to sustain an entire household alone and by themselves. And it was more so because traditionally that was the man's role as the provider. And
Right.
so men got paid a lot more. And the reason why their salaries were higher was because these companies or whatever that they work for knew that, hey, they have a wife to maintain, they have children to maintain, right? They have an entire family to maintain. And then
Right.
if she did work, that was just kind of extra, oh, she just wants a little pocket change for herself.
Right.
That's adorable. I mean, that type of thing. So where, they could go out for little family outing, ice cream or something like that. Because even back then, like, all of these restaurants where you can eat everywhere under the sun, it wasn't like that back then. If you went out to eat as a family, that was really a treat every
Right.
now and then, but the eating was done at home because she was the home manager. And
Right.
so a an ideal situation back then was, hey, the husband, which was the husband and father, which was the provider, he went to work, he brought the money home, he had the account, he had the cars, he had the house, stuff like that. And she managed it.
Right.
and and that was okay. Well, why was that okay? Well, because she didn't have to, her mind was on the home, managing the home and the children. And a lot of, as quiet as it's kept, a lot of women who were still at home managing the home still had help.
Right.
Right? Like, think of, you ever saw the Brady Bunch? You ever used to watch the Brady Bunch?
This is so funny. My mom just talked about this, and she's like, "Have you ever seen the Brady Bunch?" And I was like, "I've never seen it," but
Okay.
because so many people reference Brady Bunch, like, I know a little bit about it.
Okay. So the Brady Bunch, right? The Brady Bunch, it was back in the day, you had Mike and Carol Brady,
Mm-hmm.
and they were both uh they remarried. So I think the backstory of that was, like, I guess his wife died, her husband died. They both had 3 kids. He had 3 boys, she had 3 girls. They married. So when they married, they both had, come came with 3 children. Now they have 6 children. And
Right.
even with those 6 children, and Carol Brady was a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
She still had Alice, the housekeeper, right? Right.
She
So
did. She had help.
she had help, right? So Mike, I forgot what he did. I think he was like an architect or something like that. And but even with her with the 6 children, she still had Alice, which was her help. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
then you have what was the other show? Look, the Jeffersons.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, we look
I
Wheezy and
remember the
George,
Jeffersons.
right? The Jeffersons, Wheezy and George. Lionel was grown. They had one grown son, and even Wheezy had Florence,
Right.
the maid, And so I'm saying all that to say, like, the reason why those shows had maids and housekeepers, different strokes. They had Adelaide. Was it Adelaide? Yeah, it was Adelaid. They had how.
I don't remember the show.
Okay, so I'm dating myself, right? I am dating myself. But the reason why I'm going back to those shows was because those shows showed that kind of that social environment where all of those shows had housekeepers or maids because that was common.
Right.
A housekeeper or maid was commonplace,
Right.
right? For a woman, even though she didn't work outside the home.
Right.
You
Facts.
see what I'm saying? Because again, like the Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family was probably the only show that did not have a housekeeper. And listen, when I tell you, Edith, Archie's wife, Edith was the only one that didn't have a housekeeper. And when I tell you that woman ran the entire show, she ran. I don't never remember her walking. She always had on the apron. She was always, oh, Archie, and she running to go get his plate, and she running to go get the door, and she running to go do this, and she running to go do that, and he's sitting in the chair. He's sitting
That's
in the
too
chair.
much.
Edith, go do this. Is she okay, Archie? Oh, I mean, she should have had on some Nikes the way she was running.
I can't.
But she was the only one that didn't have a maid. Right?
And that's why she's doing all that running.
And that's why she was doing all that running. That's why she was doing all that doggone running. Okay. and so again, those shows, like I said, that was the only show I remember not having a maid. But all the other ones, they had a housekeeper, they had a maid, because that was commonplace. And
Right.
again, these shows were people that the woman, she did not work outside of the home. She worked, if she did work, it was in the house. Her job was to manage the home. She wasn't worried about no bills, all of that kind of stuff, because he did that part. And that's kind of how it was back in the day. But then there was also an issue with that as well, like in real life. Well, why? While a lot of people are sitting there talking about, how, hey, back in the day, and, people didn't get divorced and your grandparents stayed together for 50 umpteen years and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying everybody marriage was horrible or anything like that, because no, I know too many people, and even in my family, that been married for 50 plus years or whatever, and they didn't have a horrible marriage. Okay. However, there were a lot of people that did stay in marriages because, especially the women. That's pretty much what that was. The women stayed in abusive marriages.
Right.
Well, what do you mean abuse? Some of them were physical, but for the most part, there were a lot more of them that was like mental and emotional abuse and financial abuse.
Right.
That don't have physical scars. And that same thing still occurs today as well.
Right.
So, now Um, because I hear that a lot, I hear that all the time. A lot of people talking about, I mean, like, grandparents will stay, but look, a lot of folks' grandmothers was pulling their daughters and granddaughters and stuff aside, letting them
Right.
know, get your education. Because to them, education meant you could make, the thing that we were taught, go to school, get good
Right.
grades, you could get a diploma, get a degree, so you could get a good
Mm-hmm.
job. And so to them, education meant freedom. And
Right. That means that you can kind of have control over what you want, who you want, and it's not just predicated on the male.
right, exactly. And so that is what they were pulling their daughters and granddaughters
Mm-hmm.
aside, saying, get y'all education. And in other
Right.
words, and not necessarily, throwing her husband under the bus or nothing like that, but they give you that look like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
get your education,
Facts.
make sure you get it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, look, folks start coming up, and you got a whole family
Mm-hmm.
down the street or around the corner or on another side of the earth because Papa was a Rolling Stone, right? That type of thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm going back to that place because this is why now we see what we see today. We see women wearing these many different hats. We see
Right.
women, well, now, okay, yeah, we could work. We got degrees. We're climbing the corporate ladder.
Right.
We're fighting for if you are in a job and you're fighting for equal pay. I remember it was this it was something that came out, and I remember it because it was on my birthday. It was April 9th. I think it was 2015 or 16, one of
Mm-hmm.
the two. And it was saying, basically like something in government where there was this vote on that had to do with like women in equal pay.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Remember that? And I'm sitting that I've been an entrepreneur all my life. So I'm sitting up there like, huh? This
Equal pay.
2050 equal pay? Like, huh?
I been,
I mean,
I was a part of that. I mean, in some points of my career, so I definitely I was a part of the fight, the part of the movement.
right. And that's the thing. Like I didn't understand it. Well, the reason being for
Mm-hmm.
me was because I grew up around women who were entrepreneurs. They had their own
Right.
businesses, whether
Right.
they was successful in like direct sales or something like that, or maybe they had their own salon or their own
Mm-hmm.
school, or that was common to me,
Right.
right? And so, and not saying that I didn't know women who had jobs, but most of the women that I knew and that I was around or mentored by and things like that, it was really commonplace that they had their own businesses. And that's how
Facts.
I knew, you know, I wanted to be a, I can't say a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to have my own business and be able to work from home because
Right.
I saw successful women working from home had their business, direct sales or whatever it was, and and look, they had housekeepers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they
Right.
had help, they had nannies that they could pay, people to come clean the house and things like that. They had their own time to where they could be available for their children. That was freedom to me. I saw
Right.
that. So that was a norm and something that I wanted for myself, right? So so to see, professional women, and especially, when I started doing hair and working in a salon and things like that, I had a lot of professional women, as clients who
Right.
worked in corporate jobs and things like that. And many of them were, um, I had some who were like divorced, some separated, some married, some in what we call happy marriages, and some in marriages that was just like, ooh, are they gonna make it? I mean, like
Right.
those type of things. Because look, for Black folks, you already know the barbershop, the beauty salon, the tavern or the pub or whatever you want to call it. Those were the therapy spaces where people
Right.
share things. And so um I just saw women taking or having to take on those many different roles where okay, they worked and still kept the house,
Right.
right? um I didn't see a lot of professional women paying for outside help. They
Right.
did it all, right? I mean, they went to work 9 to 5 or whatever, parented from work where they calling their children to on their lunch break or whatever, and making sure that they got in from school or something like that. And hey, I'll make sure you clean up the house and wash the dishes or whatever. And I left some money on the table for you to go get
Right.
something to eat till I get home. And then they stop at the store and get dinner on the way, and then come in and you know what I'm saying, come in and now it's the second shift, because they did their
Right.
first, the first job was outside the home. Then they come
Right.
home and do the second job, right, that you don't get paid for.
That, like not one coin. You ain't getting no
Right, not
dime for it.
one coin. You don't get paid for that job. And you got to ask your children how was their day at school, and did they need help with the homework, and they got to sign stuff, and your PTO meetings, or you probably got to
Jesus.
bake cookies and then take I mean, just all of these different things. And that was a norm, so to speak, especially for us. We're Generation X, latchkey kids. you
Right.
know
Right.
the reason why a lot of us were, we kind of grew up fast was because we had to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were the latchkey kids. We were the ones that we got the key. We let ourselves in. Mama
Mm-hmm.
and them wasn't there because they were still at work.
That's
I
my
had
sister.
to
That's her
kind of,
story.
yeah,
She
and
had to take care of me and my brother. She had to be mama while mama was out. You
while
know.
mama was at work, exactly. And like the way I grew up, my, I remember my grandmother being, because I grew up between Chicago and Mississippi. So my grandmother was a stay at home,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was always somebody at home. She was always there in the house
Right.
until, we got a little bit older. And then she started working at a cafeteria at, a school, but we still got home at the same time. Like I
Mm-hmm.
probably got home 2 minutes before she did. you know,
Right. Which is, just to pause you a quick second on that note, is because like a lot of my women in my family are educators, because as they
yeah,
begin to see the schedule and they
exactly.
to be there for their children and to be home, because the school
And that
system
was the
had
job
the,
that they took.
and that's the job that they took. And so they would encourage, like my mom was educated, she encouraged my sister to be educated. My sister's been educated, she encouraged my niece to be educated. My niece is educated, and it's like,
Yep.
well, because this is the best position to
It's
be
the
in. So
position
if you gonna work, and then
yeah.
you get home when all your children get home or close around the same time, and then you start your next job, but you at least you're there. And
Yes.
I'm going,
Yes.
I
And
don't
that's
know
why
about that
and that's why a
life.
lot of them took those jobs for that
Absolutely.
reason. I could
Absolutely.
still be available for the children,
Yes.
right? And that's
Wow.
and that's what they did. And that's why, like I said, my grandmother, she couldn't be an educator, but she worked in the cafeteria,
Right. But it still
you
had the
know,
same operational
at the
hours.
same, right, but the same schedule, same
Mm-hmm.
hours. And then of course, being here, well, guess what? My mother is an educator. Same
Mm.
thing. You know what I'm saying? My mother's an
And
educator.
now you're educated, right?
Right, same thing. And so that was that schedule to allow for that. But again, the difference is that they took on all of those roles and all of those you know uh jobs. And so it came down to the children, and not saying that children shouldn't help with cleaning up and stuff like that, because yeah, they should,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, nowadays it's it's just kind of giving that time history or whatever of how things developed
Right.
and unfolded
Right.
over the years, to where now like what you got to do to really make ends meet, and especially
Right.
since you have more women who are single parents,
Absolutely.
right? You got a
Yes.
lot of women who are single parents, and shoot, you got a lot of women who are single parents, but then you also have a lot of them that look, this is it, look, it's funny but it's not funny, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it, there is such a thing as single married moms,
Oh yeah, definitely,
right?
definitely.
Single married moms,
I've
and
seen
that's
it.
because okay, they married, but they're doing all the stuff.
Yes,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
a
Like
it's a real thing. It's real life.
it's it's a real thing, and then you just kind of like, I guess, like report to your husband of catching them up on everything, like, oh yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and it's like, oh okay, and that's it. But listen, this is what happens now, mind you, all of that, the single married moms, but I have to ask this question:
Mm-hmm.
who has a housekeeper? Who
Oh,
has a
honey,
cook? Who has a
I know.
chef?
I know my mama didn't have one.
Right?
No.
So you're going to work about 8 hours a day. Your commute time may be add 2 hours to that. So that's 10 hours. There's 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night, right? So if
Mm-hmm. Right.
you have 8 hours that you're working, and then you add those 2 hours of commute time. So that's 10 hours. So
Right.
of day, you got 2 hours left in a day, right?
That's
And
it.
this is what I'm saying. Women, you're doing so much to where you don't even sit down and take inventory on what you're
Mm.
doing. You never did think about it.
Wow.
You're just doing it. But then,
Don't even know when you ate, when you slept, and they all just run
right,
together at that point.
and wondering why, I mean, like seriously, and this gets down to, okay, health issues, whether
Yes,
it's mental
absolutely.
health, emotional health, your body, all of that. Where's this breast cancer coming from?
Mm.
Where's this, ovarian cancers, and these cancers of the uterus, and that, where's these coming from? Well, I'll tell you what it is: emotionally.
Coach,
Emotionally,
please. I'm so sorry. Mama Cotton is over here just being loose lipped. So just disregard. Y'all disregard. Okay. Just disregard some of the comments that come from Mama Cotton. She's
okay.
working on her meekness. We're gonna just say it like that.
And
So
so,
proceed, coach. Proceed.
okay,
I can't.
so here's the thing. So now we get into these health issues. Why we have this rise in cancer, this rise in breast cancer, the rise in, these ovarian cancers or fibroid tumors, and all of these kinds of things. Well,
Right.
women, if we're doing it all, guess what we're doing? We're violating our
Right.
own body because we're in an energy that we shouldn't stay in for too long. What energy
Right.
is that?
Wow.
We all have
Wow.
masculine and feminine energy, but if we're, as women, operating in our masculine energy for too long, over periods and periods of time, it will manifest
Mm.
itself in our body as a physical
Babe.
sickness, illness, or disease. Breast cancer, emotionally, our body is saying we need to nurture ourselves. Cancer,
Baby.
emotionally,
Coach.
is the emotions of resentment, guilt, remorse, regret. where it shows up in the body as far as the breast, because the breast is a place of nurturing. So
Mm-hmm.
then that means that we have either resentment, guilt, remorse, or regret around nurturing. That
Yes.
we may feel guilty about not being able to nurture
Right.
because we have to step into this masculine role of providing. And that's not to say that women can't provide, like we do, you know, but I'm talking about going out there and getting it and hustling and everything and working like a man.
Right.
You have
You're
to
right.
be in overdrive masculine energy. And we're
Mm.
not designed for that. It goes
Period.
against the very nature of how we were made
Mm, 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 mm.
and operate.
Wow.
We, as women, we attract, at least we're supposed to. We attract. And so if we're operating in our feminine energy, look, when you operate in your feminine energy as a woman, do you know how much more money you can bring in?
Wow.
You could bring in way more money operating in your feminine energy than you ever could in your masculine energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in your masculine energy, I'm a grind, 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 get it. Do you? But what I'm gonna
Facts.
do is continue to operate in my feminine energy and attract the wealth to me. We talk about law of attraction all the time, but do we really, really know and understand how it truly works? It's more
Right.
than just visualizing and feeling it, and that we have to step into the right energy as women.
Mm.
And so that's why we have to take the cape off.
Wow.
We got to,
Somebody need to you might want to throw your cash up here tonight, Coach, because I think we getting a whole lesson.
like,
We might need to give a donation to Coach tonight, because look, that last bar, look, I'm gonna call it a whole rap. That was poetic, lyrical, right? Lyrical
real one.
content. That whole part right there about that masculine and feminine energy. And when you said if we use our feminine energy, woo child, when we use our feminine energy, we can make more money because we're not conditioned to grind, 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 grind. That's not even the nature of our creativity.
That's for men. They can have it.
Ooh,
They
yes,
be
Lime,
like,
good
I be
stuff.
like,
Yes.
Look, grind boo. Look,
Yeah, you go on and grind
you
and
grind
fall
it out.
out. And fall out. You better
But
take
I'm
the
gonna
cape
say that,
off.
right?
Woo, that was a whole message right there. That was a whole deliverance. Somebody got delivered today.
Look, I hope so. I want to deliver all women from these
Yes.
capes. Like,
Yes.
retire it. And that's the thing about it. So many women. I mean, I don't know how many memes I done saw where it's like, if she could just stop being super and just being a woman. And then you got the lady, she laying there, she got the cape, is laying on the floor, and she just trying to rest. That's exactly what
Yes.
you should do. Like, rest. Rest is a law
The
of,
whole principle.
it's a health principle.
Yes.
It's a, and you can't violate it. You can't, but, and when I say, you know as operating in the feminine energy, I'm not saying sit back and don't do nothing. I mean,
Right.
that's not it. But it's when if you find yourself being super exhausted, and you're like, oh, I can't seem to get it, I can't seem to catch a break, or this is that and the other, then that's your body telling you you operating in your masculine energy too much.
Right.
You need to get
Right.
rid of it, because again, like it will manifest in your body as a breast cancer, or especially in your uterus. That means it's like a blow to the feminine ego. um
Wow.
Shouldn't even be operating in the ego. The ego is a false self. It's a false self. It's a false identity. You're operating in your personality when you should be operating in your spirit and character.
Wow. Yes. Okay.
Right. And so, when we have all of these, uterine problems and everything, again, because what's the organs down here? Those are your sexual organs, right? Sexual
Yes.
organs. And your sexual energy is creative energy. Sexual
Reproductive energy. Yes. I
reproductive
follow.
energy is creative energy. And so if your creative energy is thwarted into overdrive in a masculine sense, now you're tearing up your uterus. You're not using your creative energy in the way that you're really supposed to, operate in it. So now
Right.
you got reproductive issues.
Baby. Ooh, coach.
Now you got reproductive issues. And so you got to get back into, again, what that all boils down to is one, stop, rest, nurture yourself. Nurture yourself.
Yes.
Trust me when I say one or two things going to happen. You're going to stop and rest, get the rest that you need, and then operate in the feminine energy as you should, or your body gonna stop you for you.
Yes.
You don't want to wake up dead.
Because that's what it will happen. That's exactly what will happen. And we can use dead in the sense of maybe not physically dead, but that can happen too. You could just die in the natural, but then spiritually dead.
Yes.
Because now your spirit man is so depleted because of doing things that it never was designed to be doing. It never should have taken on this role. This was not in your calling. This was not something that he wants you to do, period. But then we take on all these different responsibilities, think here again, trying to save the world. And he's saying, I already did that, so I don't know why you think you can do it better than me, right? And it's just a habit. And you know what I realized, coach? And even on my simple level, again, just not even can really understand on your level of what you had to go through to get to the point to where you said, you know what, I'm taking the cape off. But it's mental. We will sit here and talk to ourselves and think that we're doing something good and noble, and we just as wrong as two left shoes. Yep. Because our Savior never required for us to come and do all this stuff, to be the man, to be the woman, to be the mama, be the daddy, be the sister, be the brother. He ain't even designed or create us to do all that.
And look, and even if you're a single parent, if you're a single mother, be that a mother. You're not a father. You're a mother. When I was a single parent, I was a single mother.
Yes.
I ain't trying to be nobody's father. It's like, you better not give me a card on Father's Day. I'm not your father. I'm your mother.
Yes.
Right. I mean, they never did. We ain't never had that conversation or anything anyway. But that's just, I'm the mama, I'm the daddy. No, I am not. Right.
Yes.
And here's the thing. So, because I want to give, at least some kind of action steps or something like that.
Yes, please. We got about 10 minutes. And, look, this was already the part 2 to the
It's like part 2 to
the other part. Look, this may have to go into part 3, but it's so critical that we have these conversations because we're not discussing it. And here's another thing that we as women do. I'm including myself. I had to learn it because my mama, she told me, she's like, you know what? I didn't go get no coach, no therapist, but you can go get some help and talk to somebody. And so on this platform, look, Mama Kai, she's like, okay, I didn't know to do that. My mama never told me to do that, but you smarter than me. Go seek you out somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But we as women, we won't do that. We think we can keep going and going like the Energizer Bunny. We can figure it out. We're going to make do. We're going to push it to the back burner. and then we're not getting out. So what I do love about the Coach's Corner, and what you have, the one of the best coaches that I know who has experienced this. This is not something that, yes, she's certified, yes, she's licensed too, but this is a life lived thing that she's talking about. This is not just something she read in a book.
I had to coach myself through the process. Like, for real. When I tell you, I'm gonna just say this one thing right here, honey. I'm telling you, my spirit was like, stop. Yeah. I'm like, what? Stop. I'm like, okay. And I stopped, right? And when I tell you now, when you start taking stuff off your plate that should not be on your plate, okay? You gonna start seeing some things happen differently around you. Yes. Certain people, just watch how they relate to you after you start saying no, and I'm not gonna do that, and and you stop and all of that. Just watch, because you'll see who has been benefiting from you doing all these different things. And then absolutely, you'll see if they were, if they're really in your corner, if they were really there to help and be supportive or whatever of you, and maybe you was just overworking yourself, and and it's like, okay, I'll step up to do this, that, and the other, or they looking at you like, oh, you're not gonna do this, and it's a little manipulation that may come into play.
Absolutely.
And the person that you need to watch the most is yourself.
Retweet.
The person that you need to watch the most is you.
Because you're the enabler. Everybody you're the one who's pushing this along, supporting this mess.
Because when I tell you, when I stopped and stuff started falling apart and all of that, it took everything in me to not get up and do what I always done, which was get up, run, put out fires, get this together, fix this, put that, like all of that. I had to just literally sit and watch things fall apart. And it wasn't that I wanted it to fall apart. I wanted them same people that was putting stuff on my plate, I needed them people to take those things off the plate and handle it themselves. And some did, some didn't and left. And some just sat there like, oh, you ain't gonna do. Nope. I need you to do that. And they wait. And it's like, okay, how long we gonna wait this out? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like what's gonna happen? Because what I had to watch was, again, myself, and not do what I always done. And so that's what you would have to do. You'd have to watch yourself to not get up and do what you always done. There's nothing wrong with delegating responsibility. And if nobody takes it, then guess what? If you're not supposed to be doing it and somebody else don't, take over whatever that is, then guess what? Maybe that's just something that don't need to be.
Gotta let it go.
When it comes down to it. And then look, and let me share this, because I know we gotta go. We probably got about 5-6 more minutes, but really,
right.
I sat down, and I swear it's in my phone right now. I call this the stay-at-home mom salary, right?
Okay.
So this is what I did. I did this based on like what I went to school for, what I'm actually, went to school, paid the money, what I'm educated in, and all of that kind of stuff, right? And so, I have a research fellow in metaphysics, okay, and based on that, I went to PayScale. So payscale.com. This is where you put in a whatever job or position or whatever, and then it gives you a salary on that. So based on this, this is anywhere between 171,445 a year to $246,084 a year. Okay. Then now that's just my education level, right?
Right.
So then I added every single thing that I did or do that you could pay somebody to do. Okay. A nutritionist, 57. I'm gonna say 57 plus, 57 plus thousand a year. Chef, 24 to 47,000. No, 24 to 74,000 a year. Look, escort, 30 63K.
Okay.
Hold on, we grown, we adults. Porn
You
star.
think about that because this show need to be sometimes
Listen,
need to
you
be
gotta
paid
break
for.
it down. You got to break it down. So you got escort, about 63,000 a year. Porn
Facts.
star, $100 to $200,000 a year. Massage therapist, about average 30, a little over 30, just say 40,000, $40,000 a year. Personal assistant, 33,000. Spiritual advisor, 43,000. Nanny, over 26,000. Nurse, 67,000. Educator, 53 to 58,000. Social media manager, because I actually do that. I have a certificate and everything in that. About 55,000. Photographer, 53 to 76,000. Housekeeper, 25 to 75,000. Manager,
My Lord.
61,000. Laundry service, 21,000. Interior designer, because you get your home and you want to decorate all that. Okay, interior designer, 38 to 107,000. Administrator, 99,000. Financial manager,
Wow.
117,000. Tax preparer, about 24,000. And because we got these kings, our kings, they want king treatment. And so because kings like to be served, entertained, and want to know what's going on in the heavens, like true kings, that's what they do. They got astrologers and everything, right? So the kings want to be served. So you're a server. That's 22,000, a little over 22,000. Entertainer, 50 to 75,000, and a median income of about 61,000. Astrologer, about 50,000. Oh, and look, don't cut your king's hair now. You might be his barber and everything too. So cosmetologist or a barber, about 60 to $120,000 a year. So
wow.
add all of that together, what you should be getting paid, $1,272,159 to $1,765,086 annually.
Wow. Somebody's being underpaid right now. Overworked and underpaid.
That is called a displaced worker. Look it up. That is a displaced worker. You doing a heck of a lot of work that can't nobody pay you for.
Wow.
Because it's too much.
Wow.
Or the people that you're doing it for can't pay you for it. So why kill yourself?
But that's what's happening.
What you do the things that you can attach a salary to. I mean, now you're not trying to get your kids to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, y'all, putting they 5, just like my.
But if they 13 or 14,
right,
they can make a sandwich on their own. They ain't got to. Mom, can you make me a sandwich? Mom, can you make me some dinner?
You better believe my teenagers. I'm so done. Like, if I'm a cook, I'm a cook. If I'm not, I'm not. They already know. It's like, you better just ingredients in there. You better get it together. It's like, it's called delegation.
Yes,
delegate.
Wow.
Right? Why should that be all on you? Or somebody need to hire. Somebody need to outsource, hire something, outsource some things, right? Because you cannot do it all. You
Right.
cannot. These people, look, these folks in the Bible, and back in the day, they had hand in the Bible, they call them handmaids,
Right.
right?
Right. Absolutely.
They call them handmaids. Even now in Africa and in certain cultures and things like that, oh, when they get married, they get a maid with the marriage. It's
Facts.
like
They
that's
do.
standard.
That
That
comes
is,
with it.
it comes with it. It's standard. It's like, oh, you get married, you have a maid along with that. Because
Mm-hmm.
they know you cannot do that by yourself.
Right.
You need help. You having babies, you got a husband and everything. You can't maintain all that by yourself.
Right.
And you trying to work and you trying stop.
Stop it. Right. Just stop that. Stop that.
Stop. You trying to be every woman. You gonna be every laid up in the hospital somewhere.
And then what happens? Because
And
you
then
did not prepare, guess what? Your whole family is declining due to you being unprepared.
yeah. And the thing is, let me tell you this, and I'm gonna end with this, and I know we could do a part 2, 3, or whatever. But you know how they say that when you're uh like say you overworking and everything on the job and stuff, and they'll say, like, hey, you mess around and croak on a job or something like that, and they have your position hired out in what the next
You'll be
day,
replacement.
you will be replaced. Guess what? That same thing happened. You will be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And now can't nobody replace you, but you better believe life gonna go on, and you will be replaced, if you know what I mean.
Facts. And where's the choice come in at? Because guess what? If they don't know how to do it, by then they're going to have to find somebody else to do what you was doing.
They can find somebody else to do what you was doing.
I mean, that's going to be period. Well, Coach, you know what? We're going to stop right there because, look, we are an hour and 2 minutes past our time. Y'all, okay. So if y'all want to hear a part 3 to this, drop some fire in the chat. Give Coach some hearts, you guys, because she has really definitely taught us on tonight. She has poured in us tonight, which is, again, here is something else we have took from her. So we need to show her some love, replenish her back, to give us some hearts, some likes, and things. And Coach, I know you probably can't see it on Facebook, but the hearts is going up, the fire's going up, the love is going up. But if you guys want some more of this, we're gonna have to do a part 3, Coach. So you're gonna have to keep riding with this for a minute.
Is this part 2?
This had to be, well, see, really from the week before last, the week Coach Courtney was canceled last week, we was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it came into play. So technically, this would be part 1 of Take Off the Cape, but it just kind of segued from the topic we had. So I'm gonna say this is part 2 because it's just a continuation on the conversation we've been having. So if y'all need, Ebony Monique says yes, part 3, please. We got fire by YouTubers and we got fire by Facebook and our audience. So, Coach, you're gonna just come back on for part 3. So hopefully next Tuesday we can end the Take the Cape Off Sis, because I understand that we need it. We do need it. I need it. So,
and especially my millionaire trading women. I'm telling you, I already have it down on my list. I have a list that say, okay, when I make this much, I'm hiring a chef.
Mm-hmm.
I make this much, I'm hiring a housekeeper. Them two on my list, okay?
On the
list, because look, I can clean with the best of them, but when I tell you that take a lot of freaking work, and I'm not as young as I used to be.
Absolutely. Coach, look, and let me tell you what's been my prayer, and then we're gonna close. My prayer has been, Lord, in your preparing me for all of this stuff, I just need him to go ahead and give me the financial resources to hire, to outsource. Like, because I mean, y'all can ask Mama Cotton, I'm not equipped to be doing all that. I can clean. She taught me well. She raised me well. I just don't want to. I just don't feel like I should have to be doing these things because I don't believe I need to be working that hard. So, me being the person that I am, Lord, when I do marry and have my family and my children, I need you to just go ahead and sprinkle the blessings on me right then and there. so I can just move forward, because how you start one thing is how you do everything. So I need to start right so I can end right.
You gotta start right. You gotta start right, coach.
Right, coach, I gotta start right. Look, now though we have a common unit, because I know anybody watching, especially Coach Dawson, I can be like, Coach, I can't do it. I'm gonna tag team you in. You got 7 children, come get your 8th or your 9th. I don't know. Can't do it. Wasn't ready, right? But you guys, this has been the Coach's Corner with the lovely Coach Hadassah, who has just poured into us. Come back next Tuesday for part 3 of Take the Cape Off, Sis, where we are learning how to reduce or do away with, eliminate some of these responsibilities that women have to take on due to not being financially prepared, or just due to thinking that we're doing something right. So come back. This has been the Coach's Corner, where we are on every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Coach Cotton. Coach Hadassah is the co-host with me, and this is the Coach's Corner, where we help you get to your next level. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Peace.